And I wanted to start with scientific notation today. And that's all I'm going to cover today because I don't want y'all to worry about anything else except scientific notation. Because there are some assumptions about scientific notation, and one of them is that if you can move one decimal one way and move the other, then that's all you need to know about scientific notation. Well, that's not true.
And science teachers can't teach it. Can't forget about that one.
Well, I don't know about that, but anyway.
Okay, they can.
I'm on camera. I can't say that. Anyway.
So now you're watching what you say.
Yeah, I have to. Let me give you an example. Now, you don't have to write this example down. I just want to give you an example of when people think, you know, oh, I got this. It's no problem. I know how to move the decimal left and right. Well, let's do one, and I'll show you where people mess up. Okay? This is just for your information. This is not for you to be able to do today. Let's say I give you this. 45 times 10 to the negative 4 over 3 times 10 to the 4th. And I tell you to do that problem. And some of you know how to do it, some of you don't know how to do it. And you're not supposed to use a calculator. So what's the answer?
You gotta get that negative on the bottom.
I gotta do what?
You gotta make that not negative on the
No, now remember, these are not exponents. This is scientific notation.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
You add those together.
No, you subtract them.
Okay.
Well, that's good. That's good. You're getting there. And that's, this is scientific notation. So I tell you to break it up into 2 parts. But let me show you. You're not going to write. I don't want you to write down how to do it. I want you to. This is what students do. Let's see. 15 times 10 negative 4 minus 4 is 0. That's what people do.
What is 15?
I divided 45 by 3. All right, that's what they do.
I can't see because
I about to see the
your camera is away.
Well, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to move. I can't help it. I gotta have it there. All right. So 15 times 10 to the 0. That's wrong. 2 reasons it's wrong. 1, it's not in scientific notation, and 2, that 0 is not right because you subtract the 4, and that becomes a negative what? A negative 8. Okay? So what I'm trying to tell you is be careful when you're dealing with scientific notation. Please be careful. And I'll show you some more problems like this in the future, and you'll see where students make their mistakes. All right? So let's go ahead and start talking about it. Scientific notation. What is the definition of scientific notation? I can't spell. Let me start over. Scientific notation. The definition of scientific notation is, this is a Hubert definition, is placing the decimal to the right of the first number greater than 1. That's the definition of scientific notation. Now, you need to know that definition, because if you know that definition, then you don't have to remember any rules.
Greater than 1? Let's say greater than 1, right? It looks like a 6. Sorry.
It looks like a what?
6. Thank you. Better.
All right. So, if I give you the following number, and I tell you to write it in scientific notation, the first thing you do is find the first number greater than 1. Greater than or equal to 1, sorry. So where is the first number greater than or equal to 1? 1. So that decimal needs to be right there. So you move the decimal that many places. You don't worry about a sign. You just move it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1.4 times 10 to the blank 4. Now the reason I put that blank there is because I'm going to ask which way do I need to write it. Move the decimal. And this is the question I tell students to ask themselves, and they'll never get it wrong if they do. Ask yourself mentally. Mentally means what? In your head. Do not do it. Which way do I move decimal to get original form? Okay, so look at this decimal right here. Which way do I need to move that decimal to get it back the way it was? No, left. Left is what? Positive or negative? Negative. So the answer is 1.4 times 10 to the negative 4. Now let me go ahead and say something right quick. There's 3 types of people in the room. First type says, okay, I didn't know how to do scientific notation, and now I do. Second one goes, okay, I remember some of that. And the third one goes, that ain't the way I do it. I remember if it's a decimal, it's going to be negative, and if it's a big number, it's going to be positive. You're the one that's going to miss the problem I just put on the board. Okay? So if you're one of those people, then be careful. All right?
So if it's not,
Do not patternize math.
I'm not trying to.
Okay?
But
Just remember the definition.
I'm just going to shut up. I'll keep my notes.
What?
Nothing.
I don't think you should try to do that, because that messes you up when you get to a problem and you get an answer and you don't know whether to change it into scientific notation or not. All right, so let's try nerd. All right, change that one into scientific notation. 124 million. What everybody would like to have in their bank account. Some people think they do have that in their bank account. But they still make car payments. Why do you still make car payments if you think you got that much money in the bank?
Keeps your credit good, I think. I don't know.
I don't get the times 10 part.
That's just scientific notation. Since you're moving the decimal, that's times 10. That's why. You know, 100 is 10 times 10. That's why. You're getting it from that. You're moving it place value, tens, hundreds, thousands, that kind of, that's where it comes from. it's always going to be times 10, always. Unless you want to start counting by eights.
Kill you.
You do in computer programming and 16s. Let's see, what else? 32s, 64s. Let's just leave it at 10.
Yeah. Not say that.
All right? Where is the decimal on a whole number? Right here. So there's my decimal. Where do I need to move it?
To the left,
Where?
between the, after the 4.
It's between the 1 and 2.
Between the 1 and the 2.
It said
What's the definition of scientific notation?
To the right of the first number greater than 1. Greater or equal to 1 is 1.
First number. And we all read which way?
Left to right.
Left to right. So what's the first number greater than or equal to 1?
1.
So here's 1.24 times 10 to the blank. How many times we move? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, which way do we move this decimal to get it back the way it was? To the right. And your answer is 1.24 times 10 to the 8th power. Now, 90% of the students that I know in my math classes can do these last two problems that we just did. I don't have a problem with that. The problem is when you start getting answers that are in regular notation and, what's it say?
I don't know. I just kind of the file cannot be saved. That's what it says.
Done that twice. I'm about fed up.
You don't have no room.
No, something to do with the settings they have on it.
Don't ever teach an online class again. That's your answer.
No, I'm gonna figure this out.
By the time fall semester starts.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Send it to IT. Maybe she can tell me what to do if I go ahead and text it to her.
And it's nice to take pictures of the problems. I'm trying to remember what it says.
Yeah, it's easier just to do that because I can't remember anything. Okay, sorry. Okay, I sent it to her. Very frustrating, but I got it back up. I'm running the board, so. I mean, y'all can't say I don't try. All right. Now, let's do, I don't know what I was talking about, but, most students know how to do this. Most students, if I give you this next problem, if I give you this one, 1.38 times 10 to the 4th, and I give you 1.27 times 10 to the negative 6th, you should be able to write those in regular notation. And like I said, most people don't have a problem with writing in scientific notation and going back and forth. That's not where the problem is. And this one would be what? 1, let's see, 3, 8, and that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. So that'd be 13,800. And then this one would be 1, 2, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have 5 zeros. So 90% of you, 90% of students are not going to have problems doing these last 4 problems. Where are you going to have a problem? Well, here's where you start having the problem. Let's start with something simple. 2.0 times 10 to the 4th and 15.0 times 10 to the 5th. Here's where you have the problem. So go ahead and see if you can work this problem and see what your answer is. And then we'll talk about it. I gotta pause this thing so it don't take up more space. All right, and all of you should know 55 divided by 5 is what? 11. And what is negative 4 minus a negative 3? And we got to put this in scientific notation. So that's 1.1 times 10 to the negative 1 blank 1. Which way did I move that decimal in my head to get it back the way it was? So your answer is 1.1.
What would the answer be for that if you multiply?
Multiply what?
5 times -4.
I just divided it.
I don't understand. What are you saying if I multiply it?
Multiplication problem.
Like instead of division, multiplication.
You want me to do a multiplying with 5 and 55?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's let everybody just write that down first. So did everybody get 1.1 on that one?
If it's to the first power, you don't put an exponent, right?
Yeah. Well, it'd be times 10 to the first power, yeah. This is 10 to the 0 power. So this is 1.1
Oh.
times 10 to the 0. And what's 10 to the 0? 1. And 1.1 times 1 is 1.1.
So if this came up on homework, I mean it didn't, but if it came up on homework and we put 1.1 times 10 to the 0 power, it'd be wrong, right?
No, it wouldn't be wrong. It just I would write, I'd circle it and say don't need to write this or something like that.
Okay.
Extra. Extra. You ever heard anybody use the word extra?
No?
Extra cheese. All right. So let's do one multiplication with 5.5 because that will give us a bigger number. So 5 times 10 to the 4th times 55 times 10 to the negative 3rd.
That's a negative
Huh?
4 is negative.
No, 4 is positive. I just made up a new one.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't know what 5 times 55 is, 275?
Yes.
And what's 4 minus 3? 1. 2.75 times 10 to the 1 blank 2. Which way did I move this decimal, get it back the way it was? So your final answer is 2.75 times 10 to the 3rd power.
You multiply, you subtract, when you divide, you add.
No. We went over that the other day. When you have the same basis and you're multiplying, you add the exponents. When you divide exponents, you subtract. Quotient rule, look at the video from last class. I went over that at the end of the video. Okay? Now, what I want everybody to do is I want y'all to go home and work on all this homework. I'm going to let y'all go early today, because I don't want y'all working on anything except for 5.1 through 5.6. 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, 5.6. Right?
Yes.
And did we do 5.5? No.
We skipped it, and
Okay.
we skipped 5
And then Monday, when y'all come in, I want to do nothing but homework problems, and then we'll finish with 11.1, which is percentages, which ain't going to take long.
Well, if you go 5.3,
Huh?
5.3.
5.3, I've already covered 5.3.
Good enough for these
Which one, what kind of problem you got?
All,
Don't tell me that. What kind of problem you got? Give me a problem.
well, hold on, let me pull up my home.
I'll do one problem out of 5.3 because I want y'all to concentrate on 5.6.
Well, you want me to get 5.3 too?
I've
right
already
now?
covered 5.3. I'm concentrating on 5.6 right now.
Well, I know that.
Okay, give me a fraction,
A fraction.
or give me a problem. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to pull it up.
That's what 5.3 is fractions.
Okay, we'll I'll video it. Hopefully, I'll video it. I'm gonna find out what's wrong with this, and I'll video it. What is 5.3?
Okay, fractions.
Okay.
You just want to know.
Yeah, just give me a problem.
66
66,
and 112.
66, and 112.
I don't know. You want to know how much taller the man is?
No, just is a subtraction.
I don't know.
What
It's
does
a
it
word
say?
problem.
It's a word problem. It
You
ain't.
gotta read the problem.
You say give me the number. You say a man is 66 and 112 inches tall, and his son is 59 and 8 inches tall.
How much? Say that quick. How much?
59 and 8 9.
And you don't have this in your notebook.
I don't think so.
We just finished that.
We did 2 of these the other day.
I know you did.
You were on Facebook.
No, when I was trying to do my homework and look.
All right, what we got to have?
I come-
Common denominator. So we got to go over here. Let me get a marker.
She was, I can go, right?
Yeah, if you don't want to listen to this,
Okay, my man had a lot.
I'm going to just say everybody's here today. 9 and 12. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and sometimes 13. 3, 3, 4, 3, 1, 4, 2 squared. And there's my common denominator, which is 30 what? 6. So 36 here. 36 here. 9 will go into 36 4 times. 4 times 8 is 32. 12 will go into 36 3 times. 3 times 1 is 3. I can't take 32 away from 3. So I got to borrow or borrow 1. So I'm going to borrow a 66. I'm going to borrow a 1 from that 66. So I'm going to take my red marker, and I'm going to borrow and make that a 65. And I'm going to have a 1 and bring it over here and add it. But I can't add it because I've got to have a common denominator. So I change it to 36 over 36, and I add it to this guy. In other words, I'm adding a 1 to the 3 over 36. And that will give me, my new problem is 65. And what is 36 plus 3? 39 over 36 minus 59 over 30 and 32 over 36. And what's 65 minus 59?
What did you get 59? Oh,
6. And what's 39 minus 32? And that's your answer.
my computer said that was wrong.
Huh?
You said that was wrong.
That's not wrong unless I've done something. Unless I've added something wrong.
I'm lying.
Huh?
I'm lying.
And there's 2 problems in the homework. I mean, 2 problems in the video. Didn't we do 2 or 3 of these? We did 2 or 3 of these in the video from last class. So you need to pull, what was the day the other day? 6-3? Go to 6-2. So let me show y'all while y'all are here. Go to YouTube. Pull up Hubert McClure. And go to playlist right here. And there they are. Y'all have 7 videos to watch. Right there. Click on that. And there's the first day handouts. My Labs Plus. How to plan and schedule. 5.1, 5.1. This is 5.1 through 5.3. And this is homework problems also. This is the one. Is it 528? It's not right. Hold on. Let me. Oh, I loaded it yesterday. No, don't upload, Hubert. Let me go. Hold on. I got to sign in right quick and I'll add it. It's on the home page right here. Right there, 6.2. I got to add it to the playlist. There it is. There's the problem right there. I know you can't hear it. I'm sorry. I'll have to get a microphone. Oops.